Hey, hi, welcome to the video series on understanding Amazon Web Services and our tips on cracking the Amazon Certified Solutions Architect exam. I'm saurabh.phaltane. I would be taking you to this video. This video is dedicated on understanding the computational services on cloud, and we'll go over the different computational services which are available with Amazon Web Services. The scope of this video is about understanding those compute services on cloud like Amazon EC2, and the tips for architecting the right computational capacity on cloud, and the policies which are to be taken care of while launching those VMs. The policies for buying those right machines, launching those right machines onto cloud. So before I move ahead, let's take a look at the Amazon product matrix as we proceed. As you know, the different products provided by Amazon in different domains, right? In the domain for compute, in the domain for storage, in the domain for networking, content delivery, analytics, databases. There are different array of products which is available or which is provided by Amazon, and based on your application requirements you can always go back and choose the right product for your application needs. But in order to choose the right product for your application needs, you need to know the real details behind these products, the real use cases of these products, the real scenarios in which these products can be implemented, the integrated, because they do have their own benefits and own drawbacks too. So in this video we would be mostly concentrating our attention to Amazon EC2. As we went over the product list, the products like Amazon ELB, Amazon EMR, Amazon Redshift, Amazon Elasticache, Amazon RDS, the major components in each domain are basically built up on Amazon EC2. You can call Amazon EC2 as one of the core components of Amazon product offerings. And most of the products which were rolled out after 2010 are mostly built on Amazon EC2. Amazon ECS, which is the latest offering coming in from Amazon, called Amazon Container Services. I would like to take you to the next slide where we go into the details. But before that, let's try to understand the global footprint of Amazon. The availability of Amazon across the globe is around in 9 data centers, and it's increasing, right? They have added in one more data center in China. Nearest one is in Singapore. There is a data center in US, Europe. So the major factor as an architect you need to consider about architecting in different data centers is what are your application requirements. Firstly, what is your where is your customer base, considering the latency you're going to experience from each of the data center, because each one as per its geographic location has associated latency. You can always check that out on the Amazon console. The costing of a VM in North Virginia region and the same VM in Japan data center is different. So cost also becomes an important criteria when you are choosing a data center. Your consumer base is one of the important criteria for choosing the right data center. Now it's not just the two factors, but the Amazon data center, each data center or each region I should say, is again subdivided into different availability zones, or there are different data centers in a particular region. Let's take a North Virginia region, this one. It has about 4 different data centers. Availability zone A, availability zone B, C and D. Now when I say 4 AZs, these are the different data centers powered by different electric supplies, different cooling mechanisms, geographically located at different diverse geographic locations at different altitudes. Even if flood comes onto the one data center, you always have the second data center up and running. So it's your responsibility as an architect to ensure that you have architecture application in multi-AZ mode, so that even if one data center goes down, you always have your another availability zone taking up the load. So these are some of the architecting criteria that you need to keep in mind, and it's also important point before you go for the the certification exam. Yes, so now let's try to have a more in-depth understanding of Amazon EC2 and the array of services available. As said, there are about major three compute services provided by Amazon called Amazon EC2. Wait. Okay. There are three services called Amazon EC2, Amazon Lambda, which is a compute service that runs code in response to events. It's like a cron on a cloud. Elastic EC2 container services are the container services which are completely managed by Amazon. It's like having a Docker which is completely managed. The cluster is completely managed by Amazon. You need to just worry about deploying your applications onto it. The scalability, the elasticity, the scaling up of it is completely managed by Amazon. It's the latest offering which has come in. So for this video, we would be restricting our scope to Amazon EC2 because I feel this is an important service right from the point of understanding and also from the point of going ahead for the certification exam, because it all gives you a basic understanding about architecting your applications ahead, and the points that are necessary. As said, Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. The name signifies the importance. It's elastic. It's a computational capacity on cloud. Why you say elastic? It's elastic in terms of its service offerings, the elastic in terms of its computational power which is available, the memory available. You can always go and have the right kind of machines provisioned for your tasks. You can always go and configure, add in extra hard disks, remove unused volumes. You can increase the size of the machines, you can decrease the size of the machines. You can have the things automated where as per the demand, as per the load spikes, the machines get doubled up, tripled up. You can have auto scaling configured, all possible with Amazon EC2. You always have a flexibility of choosing the right template for your machines. You can go and choose the right operating system for your machine. You have configurational capability for securing the network and the security access. You get a complete access to stop your machines, terminate the machines if those are not required. There is Amazon SDK which is available, wherein the developers can access the VM and its parameters through APIs like PHP, Python, Java, or .NET. Different SDKs are available. You can always have a good networking capability on it. You can always go and utilize the IP ranges, attach persistent block storages, and the last part is the costing. There are different policies available when you are purchasing machines. If you know if you are gonna use that machine, that specific kind of a machine for a longer duration of a time, say you're confident about its use for a next 1 year or a couple of years or 3 years, you can always go and reserve that capacity. I say that you can commit that capacity, and Amazon gives you a discount on the hourly rate you are paying to Amazon. So at the end of a year, you ultimately end up paying very less that would have kept paid if it was not reserved. So there are a couple of things when you are buying the machines also. It's so flexible. Let's have these are the features which we just looked at, it's elastic, it's completely controlled. You can control the different features of it, right from its size, its monitoring, your the configurational capacity. It's flexible. You can increase, decrease the size. You can increase, decrease the computational power of it. It's completely decoupled with the other applications. You can always it's completely loosely coupled with the things. You can always go and use another Amazon Web Services with it. You can couple it with different things. It's reliable and it's secure. It's always shared responsibility, as I said. The what you run onto it, what processes you run, what programs you run, what projects you run, it's completely up to you. Amazon doesn't really worry about it unless and until your machine doesn't make any malicious attacks outside environment, and all the accesses. Let me make a point that all the outgoing traffic, incoming traffic is always monitored even by Amazon. So you need to really take care of the security related things. Yeah, there is a costing related information, but before that I would like to take you over to the Amazon console, where I actually show you how you launch a machine. Now this is the okay, let's take you to the main console. Yeah, I got some lights. Anyways, there is an option to launch a machine here when you go onto the Amazon console. As you can see, there are a set of templates which are available. There is Amazon Linux AMI, Red Hat, SUSE Linux, Ubuntu, Microsoft Windows Server. There are different pre-configured AMIs which are available. You can have a look and select the right kind of a VM for your application as per your application needs and as per your requirement, as per your company policies. Then you can always also have a look at the AWS marketplace, where pre-configured AMIs, pre-configured templates are already available, and you can always just go and pull out the right template. Let's say you want a template with the LAMP stack. You can always go and pull out the LAMP stack from here and launch it. There are also some community AMIs available. For the understanding, let's take up the most basic one of Amazon Linux AMI. There are different categories of machines which are available, called general purpose, T2, T micro, M4. As you see, each machine or each category of this offering has a different computational capacity and different memory associated with it. You can always go and select the one that is more useful or more beneficial for you. The points to be kept in mind while selecting this VMs is your application functionality, your application requirements. Let's say you have a machine, you have a project which requires high computations, which has processes like video transcoding. It changes the video formats and things where huge computational capacity is required. You can go and check out the C1, C4 kind of machines, which provide you different computational virtual CPUs in the category. You can go and check out the M4 kind of instances, which are basically the memory intensive processes for the jobs which require memory intensive jobs, like the ones, let's say you are running a Hadoop process which requires which has a huge memory requirement, so you can go for a memory intensive job. You can always go and check out the D kind of instances, for high rate routes. So let's say you are using a EC2 machine for deploying a database, so better go for a D kind of machines which provide you high IOPS. It gives you a high capacity of attaching SSDs, the external hard disks. So ultimately the things boil down where what are your application requirements, know your application requirements and choose the right VM for the right purpose. you can always go ahead and select the network in which you are going to launch a machine. This is a high level concept called Amazon VPC, which is the virtual private network, but they can always go and launch in it in a default for the time being. You have subnets. Each VPC is again divided into subnets, the normal subnetting concept. You can also have the auto assign, have complete control over the networking, whether you want to have a public IP assigned to your machine, whether you want your machine to be public or private. For security reasons, you can always have a termination protection on. These are some of the basic things, but yes, let's go on to the details. The most fun part of it is the advanced user data part. Now, the user data section is the section wherein you can give a specific script, you can give a bash script for your machine, which basically gets executed at the boot time. You can have any process. If you want any process that executed at the launch of a machine, you can specify that process in this region and the process gets executed. And then you go and add into the external hard disk. Okay, this is the root volume, and as is PDA. You can always go and specify the size of it as per your requirements. You can select the type of hard disk you want. IOPS, yes, let me explain this thing. IOPS is basically the provisioned input-output capability or input outputs that you would expect your machine should handle. You get that bandwidth, how many IOPS you want, what amount of read writes to your hard disk would happen. You always have that flexibility. You can increase the IOPS. If you are using a database where there are high IOPS, you can always go and go for provision IOPS where you can increase this capacity, let's say for 300. It's up to you. You can go for a general SSD based which has some fixed IOPS. You can always go and add in other external volumes, external hard disks here. The last one is a tag instance. You can tag the instance as per your requirement. You can also tag them in different categories. One is the cost center tag, where you can, which helps you basically to identify the instances as per different requirements. Some of the tags are cost centric tags, where you which basically at the end helps you to categorize the application. Let's say for an application you have 10 machines running or 10 VMs running, a single application, and there are 10 VMs provisioned for that machine. So it gives you a flexibility to call each machine, hey, this is X application machine. You always get that flexibility by these tags. Then configure security groups. Security groups is the firewall which is provided by Amazon. You can always have selecting it from an existing one, or you can always go and create a new one. You specify the rules for it, how you're going to access it. Let's say SSH, it should be restricted only from your IP range. Your, let's say the 80 port, it should be open to all. Let's say you have some other custom port, 8080, that needs to be accessed only from a specific IP. So you basically get a complete control on the port accesses of this machine. Then at the end you go get a review screen, and you can review all the details as per your configured things. Then you go on to the last step, that is the key pair step. This is the authorization mechanism. You can select a new own key pair, or you can always create a new key pair. The private key gets downloaded to you, and the public key is installed on the machine, and then at the end you launch the machine. Now it almost takes about a minute or so for the machine to be spinned up. I'll just show you. And the machine is ready to serve you. Yes, the machine is launching. As you can see, it's in pending state, and after about 1.5 minutes it would be available for use. Now this public DNS, this is the IP which is provided by Amazon. This IP is basically the address point provided by Amazon. You can always go and attach a static IP through this elastic IP. However, this is the default public IP which is provided. You can review all the details. You can change most of the details from here through this window. And after the machine is launched, you can log in into the machine and you get a complete shell access. So this was basically the demo of how you launch a VM into a cloud. Now let me take you back to the own details where we were discussing about the type and the way and the policies for buying these VMs, because right now what we purchased was an on-demand machine. But as said, there is always a possibility where you can commit a specific amount of capacity which you would be needing for your machines, and you can provision that capacity well in advance and get some discounts from Amazon too. Presently we launched the all-demand instances. You can always have reserved instances in place where you reserve a specific capacity on Amazon and avail that capacity for a year or 3 years, and at the end of 1 year or 3 years what you end up paying is very low. It's almost 60% of what you would have paid if it was on demand. And spot instances is a different kind of a strategy for buying the VMs. Let's not go into the deep of it. Let's go ahead. Yes, this was the type of EC2 machines which are available. You can always go on the Amazon documentation to find out more details and which VM suits your needs and which VM can be spinned up as per your application requirements. So this was all about Amazon EC2. And as a tip, I would suggest that Amazon EC2 is a very important architecting component in your Amazon cloud, and if you are seriously preparing for Amazon certification exam, Amazon EC2 should be given highest preference. So this was all from me. Thank you for your patience and listening to me. I would love to hear your comments. Thank you.